Welcome back. In this video, we're going to take a look at the next part of your market and industry research, which is identifying your competitors and doing a proper competitor analysis. And the goal of this video is to give you tools and tips to pick up your competitors in the market. Now, there's three things that's very important when you do market and industry research. Number one, you want to understand the trends in the market and the industry. Number two, you need to understand what your target market is searching for, because that will indicate their need. And number three, you must understand the competitors. And there's a lot of clients that I assist in my business coaching and they're oblivious to the competitors. And I think the reason for that is people are mainly insecure when they start a business. So they rather plead ignorance and don't pay any attention to the competitors in the market. But I'm going to challenge you to understand your competitors inside out, that you know exactly what and who you go up against. So let's jump over to the My SME Manual. We're going to scroll to 1.2.3, which is competitor analysis. And we've already done some proper market research. Now we've identified three vital keywords: men's shoes, men's leather shoes, and men's formal shoes, or just formal shoes. And now we're going to take a look at how to detect the competitors in the market. So first of all, we're going to take a look at the competitors in your direct location. And to access that, we need to go to Google Maps. So we're going to select a couple of keywords here. I want to add to that keyword at the bottom. I want to add these keywords also that we're going to take a look at. And I want to add an additional keyword here that's going to help us to pick up the competitors, which is men's shoe shop. Right, now we're going to first of all utilize another Google tool, which is Google Maps. So the link is over here. You can hover over the link, hit Control and click. It should then open up on your browser. When I'm on Google Maps, let's say for example my area is here at the Bellville Tiger Valley area in South Africa, Cape Town. I will now say, doing a first search of men's shoe shop to see what comes up in this area. And here you can see there's a couple of competitors showing up in this specific location. Now I know for a fact that the Tiger Valley Mall's over here and the Willowbridge Mall is over there. So that's where the majority of competitors are. And if we scroll in, we're going to see a couple of competitors. Let's focus on Tiger Valley Mall. You're going to see there's a Tacky Town over there, Shoe City, Bellville, Tiger Valley, Sidestep, and if I zoom in a bit more, Shoe Connection, Tsonga, Tret and Miller, Markram, and so forth. The way I'm going to distinguish this is to say my competitors, direct competitors, will be anybody that's focused on just shoes and more the formal type of shoe, leather shoe, custom-made shoe. That's going to be a direct competitor for me with this business idea that I have. So definitely I will view. Okay, so first of all, let's try to access these shops to see what they offer. I'm going to firstly go to Tacky Town. You also see here on the left side is a bunch of competitors that Google throws out. And I know for a fact that Aldo is a type of a fancy shoe shop. They might be a competitor for me. And the good thing about Google Maps is it gives you the details of your competitors on the left side of the app, and I can directly go to their website thanks to Google Maps and get an idea of what my competitors are doing. So this is now the website over here. I'm going to exit that. I'm going to take a look at men's shoe, all footwear, new arrivals. There's boots, casual shoes, dress shoes, sandals, jewelry, and here's some other accessories. I'm more focused on the footwear. It seems to be female focused at this stage. However, there's definitely some male shoes here as well. And there we go. That is competition for me, because this is more of a custom design, fancy type of shoe that will definitely compete with the idea that I have. So that's one way of detecting a competitor. What you do now is you want to keep your competitors in mind for the duration of your market research process. So I will now exit over here, and I'm going to take a screenshot of what I see of all the competitors. I'm going to zoom in to get to all the important names that I can see it on my screenshot. I'm going to say control print screen or whatever you use to do a screenshot. Then we're going to open Paint and control V, which will now paste my picture right. The next step will be to take a screen grab, or rather to crop the image properly, that I have all the important information that I need. And there we go. Just finish off the picture that it looks neat. You want your work to be neat, not sloppy. And we're going to save this image on one of our folders. Go to the folder and copy that screenshot onto the My SME Manual. And now we've got a list of competitors that's going to be in direct competition of my business. The second method to pick up competitors will be to do a normal Google search. So I'm going to open up on my browser, and I'm going to go to just a normal Google Chrome search, and I'm going to type in here men's shoe shop. If I click enter, you'll see there's some ads coming up, and we've got maps also showing who's the shoe shops in the area. So we have Aldo, Footgear, Burton's, Shoes, and if we scroll down, you'll see the natural searches on Google for men's shoe shop. And you'll see some famous brands in here. In South Africa, we've got Edgar's, everybody knows Edgar's, Tread and Miller, Aldo Shoes, Men's Shoe Center, etc. So this is then the natural searches. These are all possible competitors that you need to keep in mind when you start your business. You want to dig into these brands over here, which I'm not going to do on this video as it will take too long, but you want to dig into these brands and see exactly what each one brings to the party and who's going to be competitors, what their prices are, what their services are. You want to know what makes them unique. You want to know what makes them different. You want to know what their value proposition is, that you are not caught by surprise. What I will do now is perhaps take a second screenshot of these natural searches that I know exactly who will my competitors be when it comes to a Google search. You're going to open up your Paint, paste your picture, and we're going to crop again. Finish it off with your frame. Again, I'm going to say you want your work to be neat. You want to be proud of your work and nothing sloppy. Bring it over to your My SME Manual, and we're going to paste. The keyword we used here is shoe shop. I'm going to do a second search. because I want to see how these words are trending, especially the one that I discovered with my Google keyword search, which is formal shoes. So let's jump back to the browser on Google and type in formal shoes, press enter, and see what comes up. This will also give you an indication of, when it comes to the keywords that you will be targeting, who is your direct competitors. And here you see a couple of new brands. We've got Zando, we've got Woolworths, Bogart, not sure how to pronounce that, Shoe City, etc. So this is another way to pick up competitors, especially if you think about the keyword that you will use when you start to target your specific market. So let's jump back to the My SME Manual, making some good progress. We've identified a couple of competitors. If you scroll down, you will get to the third part of your competitor analysis of 1.1.3 and your list of top 3 competitors. You can now go ahead and list your top competitors. It might be 3, it might be 1, it might be 5. In this case, I'm going to focus my attention, for the purpose of making these videos a bit shorter. We're going to focus our attention on Aldo. That's going to be my competitor. I think it's the brand's Aldo shoes. And I'm going to delete. You can, if you want, if you've got 5 competitors, your option here is to maybe just duplicate these 2. I want to go to the site and duplicate this graph. You can then click on that icon and you can bring this graph a bit closer in to get all your competitors on the page. There we go. And then you can just say competitor 4 and 5. Now I've got more competitors to compare. Alternatively, if you only have 3, you can leave the table as is. If you only have 1, you can delete these 2 and then just give yourself a bit more space. And this is why I prefer this working document on Word, because it gives you so many options to be versatile and to get this to work for you. So we're going to say, if Aldo is our competitor, we're going to say, right, their location is Tiger Valley, which is where I want to start my business. Okay, that is not a spelling mistake. That's how you spell that name, Tiger Valley Mall. Their target market is definitely men needing fancy shoes for fancy occasions. Right. The product services, they've got very fancy pointers for men. That's their product. Their pricing, let's jump back. Let's see if we can actually find some of the prices here. Here's an Aldo shoe for 1,899 Rand. You can see a lot of prices here, fancy shoes. We're looking for Aldo. There's another one of 1,899. So I would say more or less, if you look at buying from Aldo, it's going to be about 1,900 Rand. So let's jump back to the manual and let's say their pricing is going to be more or less 1,900 Rand. Their competitive advantage, they are a well-known brand. They already have a certain market segment that trusts their products and services. I would say they are well priced, especially if you look at some of the prices that you see here, 3,000 Rand, you've got 2,500 Rand, you've got 2,300 Rand. So there's a couple of high priced shoes and they definitely are well priced. So that's their competitive advantage. And then we go to their website. Thanks to Google Maps, I can now paste their website on my manual and I can then go back in the future if I need more information on them. So there we go. That is how you now list, or firstly identify your competitors, then you list your competitors, and then you do a bit of breakdown. You unpack what your competitor is all about. That's going to start the process of you thinking about how you can now be competitive versus your competitor. And I hope this video was helpful. I will see you guys in the next video.